Title: She crashed through the fence to save her husband and uncovered a shocking HOA scam. He was face down in the gravel, pinned under the weight of two fake HOA officers, while the neighbors stood frozen, watching. No one moved, no one called out. Then suddenly, an engine roared. The fence exploded. His wife burst through in their Jeep, eyes blazing with fury. But to understand how it came to this, we need to go back to the beginning. It all started like any other Saturday morning. I was halfway through mowing the front yard of our home in Ashwood Hills, a quiet suburb where the most exciting event was usually the annual garage sale. The hum of my lawn mower filled the air. The scent of freshly cut grass clung to everything. That's when I noticed two men walking up my driveway. They were both dressed in matching black tactical uniforms, complete with patches that read HOA Security Enforcement in bold, white letters. It looked more like they were headed into a SWAT raid than a neighborhood stroll. The taller one, bald with mirrored sunglasses, stepped forward and raised a clipboard like it was some kind of badge. "Sir," he said with a tone as flat as a highway in Kansas, "you're in violation of HOA Code 14.7b, unauthorized vegetation in the backyard." I blinked. "You mean the tomato plants?" He didn't answer. Instead, he handed me a slip of paper that looked like it had been printed in someone's garage. No watermark, no letterhead. "Noncompliance will result in a $200 daily fine starting today." With that, they turned and walked off like they'd just delivered a Supreme Court ruling. That evening, I showed the paper to my wife, Kara. She's my rock, my partner, and a former Army mechanic who could field strip a Jeep engine faster than most people can microwave popcorn. She studied the paper, her brow furrowed. "This is fake," she said, holding it up to the light. "Where's the HOA seal? Who even are these guys?" We checked the HOA directory. No mention of a security division. We combed through the meeting notes online. Nothing about hiring patrol officers. Something was very wrong. The next morning, they came back. No knock. Just pacing outside our property, taking pictures of everything. Our cars, the grass, even our mailbox. Kara stood at the window, arms folded. "We're putting up cameras." And we did. By their third visit, things escalated. Now they claimed we were in violation of noise ordinances and improper vehicle storage. All because Kara's army green Jeep was parked, as always, in our own driveway. "They're testing us," she muttered, "seeing how far they can push." We tried reaching the HOA board. No one returned our calls. Emails ignored. Meanwhile, whispers started among the neighbors. Turns out, we weren't the only ones. Several had received similar citations. A few had even paid up, $200 here, $500 there, afraid of legal threats. Then came Tuesday. A bright red notice was taped to our door. "Final warning before enforcement action." Kara didn't say a word. She walked out, started the Jeep, and let it idle in the driveway. I could tell she was preparing for something. So as Thursday morning arrived quiet, eerily quiet. I stepped outside around 7:50 a.m. to take the trash to the curb. The sky was overcast, and the air felt heavy. That's when I heard them. Footsteps. Before I could turn, two figures grabbed me. One yanked my arm behind my back and shouted, "You're resisting HOA authority. What the hell are you talking about? Let go of me." The second one tackled me hard to the ground. My chest slammed into the gravel, the wind knocked out of me. I gasped, trying to breathe, as one of them jammed his knee into my back. Through the dust, I saw it was the same two guys. Only now they wore body cams and black tactical gloves. Cheap gear, nothing official. I realized in that moment, we were being set up. "You've been warned," one muttered, pressing down harder. Across the street, a neighbor stepped outside, phone in hand, but not calling. Just watching. And then we heard it. The unmistakable roar of Kara's Jeep. It thundered from behind the house, louder and faster by the second, until boom. The side fence exploded in a cloud of splinters and dirt. She came through like a missile, tires screaming against the gravel as the Jeep skidded to a halt. Both fake officers froze. The door flew open. Combat boots hit the ground. "Get off my husband!" Kara screamed, storming toward them. Eyes lit with fury, one of the men bolted instantly, vanishing across the lawn. The other stammered, then disappeared behind a bush. Kara dropped to her knees beside me, brushing dust and gravel from my face. "Are you okay?" I nodded slowly, still winded. They crossed a line. And we weren't just talking about the fence. That night, we didn't sleep. Kara stayed up reviewing every angle of the security footage. We had clear shots, faces, voices, even their car. No plates. Everything screamed not legit. By morning, we had a flash drive full of evidence. Kara labeled the folder Operation HOA Scumbags. Our lawyer, Max Jennings, didn't mince words. They impersonated law enforcement. That's assault, impersonation, and trespassing. At the very least, he said, flipping through the folder. "You said they mentioned HOA authority?" I nodded. He looked up. "That might be the thread that unravels the whole thing." And it was. With Max's help, we began digging. And what we found made our blood boil. One of the men was Logan McGraw, 22, the son of none other than Delilah McGraw, our HOA president. The other was his high school friend, Sean Keller, who had a record for petty assault and property damage. They were never hired. There was no contract, no vote, no board approval. Delilah had been funneling HOA dues, money meant for landscaping and community upkeep, into a secret security fund she invented. That fund paid for the uniforms, fake citations, a bogus HOA website, even body cams. She used her position to create her own private enforcement gang, and people had been paying them out of fear. Kara went door to door gathering statements. Elderly residents who'd been scared into handing over hundreds. A single mother who paid $800 just to avoid an eviction notice that wasn't even legal. Within 2 days, we had a case. Then came the media. Our security footage aired that same week under the headline, "Homeowner tackled by fake HOA officers. Wife ramps through fence to save him." The clip went viral. Overnight, Kara became a local legend. But better still, someone from the state attorney's office called us directly. They'd seen the footage. They were opening a formal investigation. 2 weeks later, it all came crashing down. Armed with our evidence, the state raided the HOA office. Delilah McGraw was arrested for fraud, conspiracy, and misappropriation of community funds. Logan and Sean were charged with assault and impersonating law enforcement. At the emergency HOA meeting that followed, every resident showed up, furious. Kara stood at the front, calm, holding the mic. "You've all been lied to," she said. "But today, we take back control." The vote to remove the entire board passed unanimously. And who did they elect as the new chair? Kara. Her first actions were swift and clear. Abolish all unauthorized enforcement roles, refund every illegitimate fine, and publish the full HOA budget online. As for Delilah, last we heard, she was living in a condo complex one town over, under a new HOA. They fined her for having the wrong color mailbox. Justice served.